Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to week 2 of our AFL review and predictions. We did this last week where we reviewed week 1. This one's coming out a little bit later because the finals start on Friday and Saturday. But we're going to go over the 2 games that were Friday, Saturday night. I attended Friday night's game. I'm going to give you my votes, the top 3 players from each game, and give you a little bit of a review. So we're not only going to review this week, I'm going to give you my predictions for next week. I want you guys to comment down below who you guys still think is going to win the flag. It's down to 4 teams now. There's a big upset on Friday night. Saturday was a tougher game. Make sure that like button if you guys want to see more content like this. The Essendon series is returning this Saturday, so if you guys are excited to see the Essendon series return, don't worry, that's coming back this Saturday, so get ready for that. That should be a lot of fun. Without further ado, let's get into it, and we'll start with the Friday night game, and that was Melbourne and the Brisbane Lions. Okay, so we start Friday night at the MCG, and it was Melbourne taking on the Brisbane Lions. Now, I attended this game wholeheartedly. I thought Melbourne would get up. I did tip Melbourne, like I said in the prediction. I tipped Melbourne in a close one, but wow, Brisbane really surprised me. Now, Melbourne did get the jump on the Lions in that first quarter, and it honestly looked like Melbourne were going to run away with it. Now, they did the same thing against Sydney. Had a really good, strong first quarter, wasted a few opportunities, and then Brisbane got back into the game. Brisbane could not get their hands on the footy in probably the first, 10 minutes of the game. Then Charlie Cameron kicked the goal, and they started to settle into it. Now, the second half was elite. Being at the game was absolutely elite. Seeing Charlie Cameron, Hugh McCluggage just rip up the MCG was actually nuts. I think Charlie Cameron only had the 6 disposals, but he kicked 3 goals. Man was just damaging, was absolutely everywhere. Petracca, you could tell Christian Petracca was definitely injured. He was loping around. I mean, to be honest, he had 27 touches. I think he had 19 in the first half. So he was just absolutely dominating. Clayton Oliver was also pretty good in the first half. Then he was so quiet. Now, Jared Berry did go to Clayton Oliver. And man, Berry's second half was absolutely everywhere. I remember saying to one of my friends, man, this guy is just taking over the game. Eric Hipwood was really good in the forward line. But man, I was surprised. Brisbane hadn't won at the MCG. I think it was since 2013, 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong. But man, I was surprised. So Melbourne go out in straight sets. What's next for Melbourne? Luke Jackson came out yesterday and requested a trade from Melbourne to WA. So they're going to lose Luke Jackson. That's a big loss for them. I'm just surprised, man. I'm so surprised that Brisbane got the job done, considering Joe Danaher was a laid out. He's going to return this week against Geelong. Man, I'm excited. I'm so excited for these prelim finals. Now, I'll be attending Friday night's game, Geelong, Brisbane. I can't wait. I'm excited to see who gets the job done. But let's go to the 3-2-1s. And the 3 for this one, I gave to Berry. I gave 2 to Hipwood, and I gave Daniel Rich. They're my top 3 players. I feel like Jared Berry was just absolutely everywhere in that second half. And then you've got Eric Hipwood, 4 goals. He took his chances when he had to. And Daniel Rich was just composed under pressure. And man, Brisbane get a big win. 1 win away from the AFL Grand Final. Can they do it? Man, can they do it? Let's go over to the Collingwood. And actually, before we do that, I also want to talk about Melbourne just looked very tired. They looked defeated in that second half. There was no run left in them. Melbourne will be back. I'm not really disputing that. They will be back in a big and better way next year. I know that, Stephen May. They still have a pretty young list. So, I mean, Melbourne will be back. They were in some pretty good form going into the finals. But, man, Brisbane really surprised me. We'll go to the Collingwood and Fremantle. Saturday night at the MCG, saw Collingwood take on the Dockers. And, man, there was 90,000 at this game. It was absolutely ridiculous. Collingwood got the jump on Fremantle. And they didn't really look back. Collingwood did not look like they were going to be beaten all night. Fremantle did have a little bit of a run in the second quarter, but man, Collingwood are in some rich vein of form, and that just excites me for this week against the Swans. It's going to be so much fun to watch. Jordan De Goey is having a final series to remember, 24 touches and a goal. He was dominant. I know it's only 24 touches, but he was big. Fremantle's midfielders were good. I mean, that's where Collingwood lack in the midfield, in the centre clearances. They were good, but man, forward line really fell down for the Dockers. Collingwood's back line is really strong at the minute. You've got Moore, Murphy, you've got Jeremy Howe. They are running, clicking. Nick Dacos is playing some good footy. And man, if there's one team I think can win the grand final, it's definitely Collingwood. They're my dark horse now. So Richmond used to be my dark horse. Now it's Collingwood. Collingwood is definitely my dark horse. Comment down below what you guys think. Jordan De Goey this week is going to be huge against Sydney. He did not play against Sydney last time they played. But man, next for Fremantle. They look good. I just still feel like they struggle in Melbourne, man. I mean, they just need to get better at Melbourne. I know what it is. I'm pretty sure Optus is the same size as the MCG, so I'm not too sure what the goal is there with the Fremantle Dockers. But Brayshaw, Sarong. Brayshaw could probably win the Brownlow. So they had a really good year, the Dockers. They came back against 40 points against the Bulldogs last week, but man, Collingwood are just too good at the moment. And they're my dark horse at the moment. I honestly feel like Collingwood could win the flag if they get in. Now, my 3-2-1s for this game, I gave 3 to De Goey. De Goey was just dominant. I know he only had 24 touches, but still just absolutely dominant. I gave Crisp 2. I was going to give Darcy Moore 1 because Darcy Moore is having a really good final series as well, but I gave 1 to Caleb Sarong. I thought he tried all night for Fremantle, and The Dockers will be back. Don't worry, the Dockers will be back. But, man, Collingwood are flying. Let's get into next week's preliminary finals, man. Let's get into it. So, Friday night, Geelong take on the Brisbane Lions. And like I said, I will be attending this game. I know a lot of people are tipping Geelong to win this, but I'll tell you what, Brisbane match up well against Geelong. They always have. Every single time Brisbane have really played Geelong, other than the Gabba, has been in Geelong. So, this is going to be interesting. MCG... packed Friday night game. I'm going to this. I can't wait. Joe Danaher, as you guys know, Essendon's my former team. Joe Danaher is one of my favourite players to watch. I hope he returns. He has a big game. Him coming back is going to be massive because in the first half, Brisbane were like butchering the ball going inside their 50. But man, Geelong are in some good form as well. That real close game against Collingwood. I feel like this is honestly going to come down to the forwards. Not the midfield, the forwards. Joe Danaher, Eric Hipwood going up against Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron. That's where it's going to be won. Charlie Cameron, Gary Rowan. Because I'll tell you what, Geelong's forward line basically... Jeremy Cameron won him the game against Collingwood. Him and Gary Rowan won him the game. So I feel like it's going to come down to the forwards. My prediction is Geelong by 15 points. I feel like Geelong will get the job done. It's going to be a really tight game. Joe Danaher, if he gets rolling in a prelim at the MCG, look out. But I've got Geelong making it to the grand final. Now, the Saturday afternoon game is Sydney going up against Collingwood. And yes, these two teams met. I think it was like maybe 3 weeks before the end of the season. Sydney got the best of Collingwood, but I tell you what, this is going to be completely different. Finals are completely different. Sydney have had the week off. They've rested. Collingwood are coming with a rich vein of form to the SCG. It's like the whole of Victoria's behind Collingwood. I mean, I'm an Essendon fan, but it wouldn't hurt me if I saw Collingwood win the flag. I tell you what, they're playing some good footy. They deserve it. Craig McRae is just playing. I mean, it's going to be massive. Now, I feel like this game is going to be won in the midfield. Sydney's big-bodied midfield is going up against Collingwood. Collingwood need to win centre clearances. DeGoey. Who else is in there? Dacos, Pendlebury, Sidebottom. This is going to be one in the middle. Taylor Adams, this is a game you really would need Taylor Adams. Now, he did get injured against Geelong. This is a game you'd really like him to be in the side, but man, this is going to be huge. Backline, forward lines, does Buddy... Buddy was pretty poor in that first final against Melbourne. Will he bounce back? My prediction is Collingwood. I feel like Collingwood will get this job. I feel like it's going to be a very tight, low-scoring game. Collingwood by 6 points. It's going to be a very tight game of football, and that lines my grand final up with Geelong and Collingwood meeting in the grand final. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this prediction. Who do you guys think is going to win the grand final? I really want to know what you guys think, man. I'm excited. The AFL prelim finals are the best time. I've never been to a prelim. This is my first ever prelim. I can't wait. I'm excited. I hope you guys are enjoying the content on the channel. Make sure to stay blessed. Essendon series returns on Saturday. We are here. The preliminary finals. Some people may say the prelims are better than the grand finals. So, man, I'm excited. Never been to one. My first one this week. Oh, my God. See you guys in the next video. Stay blessed.